Okay guys, welcome back to another Creativerse video, and first I have to just say thank you guys so much for all of the support. Since the last video I have finally gone over 100 subscribers. The level is currently sitting on 112 last time I checked, and that is just phenomenal. I never really expected to get this far, and even though 100 subscribers is not really all that much in the broader kind of world of YouTube, it's still a really big deal for me, and I cannot thank you guys enough. So, as a little celebration, I decided to buy the fireworks pack on the Creativerse store, and kind of lay out a little pattern here. And I noticed a sort of thing here. Now that I've laid them out, there's a weird little kind of lighting glitch here where it seems to treat them as solid blocks and light can't get through. But anyway, let's celebrate. So, whee! Woohoo! Oh, those look really cool. Let's set off some more. Let's just kind of. Oh, that looks awesome. Oh, and there's one more. Hey! There we go. Cool. So, yes, thank you everyone for subscribing and watching these videos, and especially for all of the feedback. It's been wonderful so far, and it's really an inspiration. So, let's get on with the video. So, the first thing I should show you is what I've been doing since the last bit. I've been working on what's going to be kind of the main central structure in the build. So, last video we kind of built this bit here. It's not entirely finished. Still need to add a few little touches to it, but here we go. And what I've been doing is I've been building this, mainly just a big staircase going up here. I'm not entirely sure if I want to keep this wall this plain, but I haven't quite decided yet what to do with it. And this might work. It might be okay as is, but if you guys think something else should be done with it, let me know. And then we have I'm going to have kind of a window here, I think, maybe. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe a balcony. And then up here, we have this kind of platform area, and this is going to be kind of inside a larger structure. So I'm going to have another kind of one of these structures, one of these kind of Parthenon-esque structures up here, and it's going to be kind of the crown of the base, the kind of like the maybe not the highest point. I might do like a tower somewhere, but it's going to be the central point, the bit that your eyes are kind of drawn to when you see it from like the front, say. So I haven't actually got a design for it yet. I've got a few ideas floating around in my head, and I just wanted to show you this before moving on. Now, because I want to give a little bit of time so I can kind of come up with a cool design for this. I don't want to just kind of rush through this build here, because I kind of be a little bit worried I might make something that's not quite good enough, and I really want this bit to look really cool. Okay, so as I said before, I believe, and in any case, even if I didn't say it, I'll just say it again now. What I'd like to do now is kind of alternate. Oh, wow, I came straight back up the other way. Whoops. I'd kind of like to alternate between working on this base and other kind of maybe smaller projects. So maybe kind of like 1 or 2 videos on this, and then a video, or maybe 2 in some cases, on building something else, just to keep it fresh, because otherwise it can get a little bit difficult, and you can get a little bit burnt out when you spend all your time working on one project, and I don't want that to happen, because right now I still feel very inspired, and I want to kind of maintain that that perspective, so I can keep on kind of being really happy when I'm doing videos. Because yeah, it's been a really positive experience for me. And one thing I'd like to say, actually, just about kind of YouTube video making in general, you know, whether or not it's gaming or any other subject, is a lot of people kind of started out because they've got some YouTuber they watch, and that YouTuber's maybe big, maybe they've got a few million subscribers, and, you know, maybe they've got a Patreon, or maybe they have their videos on ad support, and they make enough money to live on. And, you know, people watch it and go, oh, yeah, that'd be great to do. I can sit at home all day making videos. And while it's technically possible to do that, the YouTube market is very, very crowded right now, and I wouldn't actually recommend people start it for that. But I wouldn't be one of those people to recommend that someone not make videos. I actually think that everyone who has even the slightest desire to do something like this should do it. Any creative project really, but YouTube in particular, at being kind of like a performative act, is a very good one. In particular, for what it helped me with, and that is anxiety. I get anxiety with quite a lot of things, but particularly with performative acts. For example, I play instruments, but it's really difficult for me to play music in front of anyone because I get kind of scared, and I'd be terrified of dancing. Anything that's kind of vaguely performative kind of freaks me out. So when I started doing YouTube, it was quite difficult for me to speak, but it's been a wonderful way to get over that fear of performance. So I would really recommend it to anyone, especially people who are a little bit stage shy, afraid of performing in front of people. Say if they're afraid of public speaking or something like that, I would say it's a great way to get past that, and it's a great feeling to get to the point where you're comfortable with yourself. Like, I still sometimes get a little bit nervous before I record, but it's so much better, and it's so much nicer to know that there's a way past that. So I would recommend, not for the money, not to try to get big, but I recommend anyone who wants to do YouTube videos to do it just for the sheer benefits of being involved in a creative project. Anyway, that was just a little random rant I decided on the fly to insert. I've been looking around, and I think actually that this is a good location here. I want to build a city over time. So it's kind of like a way of having loads of little projects. Each individual house is kind of a project. So I think, I was just looking around, and I think this little flat area here would be a good place for, you know, a first house. Because I'll do a little bit of flattening of this area, but I want to still leave some contour in here. Just because completely flattening an area might be easy for building a city, but I think the challenge of making the hills kind of work with it, I feel it will be a little bit more interesting. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to come up with a little design of a house here. I've got a vague idea in my head of what I'm going to do, but I'm going to need to do a bit of playing around. And once I've got kind of a design coming together, I'll come back and I'll show you what I'm doing. Okay, guys, see you in a minute. Okay, guys, so here we are. I've gotten a little bit done on the house. I'll just give you a little tour. So I'm going with a basic kind of wooden and stone, I guess, semi-medieval look. And, yeah, so starting with kind of a stone kind of around the edges with the cragwood kind of support vertical beams here, and then kind of fading into wood as we go higher up. So this is like the first floor here, and I've kept the windows kind of small because for me at least, when I'm doing houses of this style, of kind of an old-fashioned kind of medieval-ish style, large windows don't look right, and they're simply not realistic. Back then, you know, in particular, glass making was not very efficient, shall we say, and large windows were very expensive and in some cases simply impossible to make. So I've kind of gone on against that rule here because I just kind of felt like having something a little bit different here. And along the bottoms, I kind of felt like it would be a little bit bland, so I put in some stairs and slabs just to kind of vary it up. And the same along the tops here with some wood slabs and stone stairs. And I'm liking the effect that's created, actually. But I'll most likely add more details as we go along. But the main idea is just to get this main structure going. Now, the next step is to start making the roof. Now, I am going to not be using a system of roof blocks because I honestly find them a little bit boring. They don't allow you to do kind of nuance of detail. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have a slab and a wall, so it's going up kind of a half block for 2 blocks, then stairs for 2 blocks, just like this. If I put it in like this, then I can have a freestanding block out here, and that'll look better. And at this point, whoops, I've still got a little bit of a weird cough. It's kind of strange. This cough's been going on for quite a while, and it's a little bit bizarre that it's still here. Yes, I thought I was doing something wrong there for a second. So if I just do this, and oh, whoops, I did a bit of a silly there. Sorry, guys. So here we go. Just place these along like this, and for continuity's sake, even though I don't have to place a block here, I will, because it will make the build. But I don't have to do so much interior work. So let's have a look at this. Now, as you can see here, the effect that creates is actually of a slightly curved roof. I did actually do this back in a Minecraft Let's Play way back in the day, on a slightly larger scale, and on this kind of small scale here, it doesn't quite show off the full nature of the curve, but you know, you get an idea of the effect at least. Let's see, can we just scoot in through here? We can. Now, this concept, I think I'm going to kind of bring in right up until the kind of the corner here, at which point I am going to have something a little bit different happening, because this is not the actual top floor of the house. I'm going to have a second floor on this kind of larger segment here. So that's going to be interesting. Now, yeah, so I have to, it's always a bit of a challenge doing kind of, I'm not very good at roofs, is the thing. That's the trouble. I've never been very good at roofs, but because it was my weakness, I kind of spent a long time trying to get good at them, and I feel I've gotten relatively good. So now what we want to do is just, because we're coming out a block out from the stair blocks, yeah. So we're going to be coming out along here and out to here. Oh, whoops! I should probably. I don't want the grain to be weird, so I should probably do it this way for this. Okay, so then if we do it like this, so the idea is the roofs kind of link up. Now, what I'm wondering here is how far in to take this. I am thinking if I take it in, like, whoops, sorry guys, so far as to have one stair block and then have kind of the roof of the next part coming up. That could be cool. And that means if it's coming in here, I can bring, whoops, this guy in to... Now, we might have a problem here. I'm going to have to do something, because the stairs have this thing where they, unfortunately, still won't kind of go around corners. So I'm going to have to figure something out there. I can figure something out there. It shouldn't be too difficult. It's just... I'm expecting that they're going to do something about that in this game at some point. They must do, really, because it's kind of one of the only areas the game is lacking compared to, say, things like Minecraft in the building department is kind of some of the automatic block connection things. I mean, if you ask me, the glass connections on this game work better than in Minecraft, but the stairs do need some work, and I think we need like kind of more slabs as well, because having only 3 slabs is a little bit restrictive. Is it only 3? Yeah, I think it really is only 3. Wow. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So we're going to have just this little roof here, and I'm debating about whether to have this kind of just front off here, or whether to have it actually kind of come around the roof. I'll try out both ideas and see kind of which one I like most. But yeah, here we have the basic house done. I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit more building, get a bit of the second floor done, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, and here we go. The house is built. So, as you can see, I've gone with a kind of slightly smaller kind of second floor, so that it's kind of coming inwards. You know, just a kind of very simple design, really. And a little kind of balcony here. I've got just a very small window here, and I'm not sure. I think maybe this bit here might be a little bit plain. I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, let's just go up, and I can give you guys a closer look. I've gone with the same kind of, exactly the same kind of roofing style actually, and even the same size. So wood slab, 2 stairs, and then central block, as up here. So the roof kind of has a nice kind of symmetry going for it. Now let's just kind of get down to the front. Woo! A bit of a mushroom. Okay, here, and yeah, it's I'm fairly pleased with it. If any of you have watched any of my old Minecraft videos, the series is kind of dead, so I guess there's not really much of a point in doing that. But if any of you have, you might notice this is actually kind of a variation of a theme of a build I did in that series, except a few kind of differences, partially kind of inspired by Creativerse's kind of different building system, and partially just my tastes changing over time. It's kind of quite bare inside. I'm not much of a one for furniture. I actually prefer building the structures to messing around with furniture inside houses. So for me, you know, once I've built a house, I'm usually kind of like, okay, on to the next one. And I've actually forgotten to put a door here. So here's a little balcony here, so you can kind of look out, and later on when there's streets, this will kind of play a bigger role, I guess. Kind of, I've put in some cragwood beams here. I find in these kind of old style houses, that is the easiest way to do a roof. Just put in wood beams, and it looks very authentic and cool, and it's really, really, really easy to build. Now, there is one thing I would like you guys' opinion on. Now, you see of the roofs here, I've just got that kind of, that block sticking up. And right now, that kind of looks a little bit square. And I was messing around with some ideas on how to change that. And one thing I was thinking of is going with the kind of fantasy medieval peak at the end, just like this. So if I just put these down here, let's just go down and have a look. So, what do you guys think of that? I kind of like it, and I think it might look a bit better, but I want you guys' opinion on those peaks, and actually on everything else to do with the build as well, because this is a completely different style. It's the first time I've built in this style in Creativerse, so it's kind of a big step in this world. And yeah, I would really like you guys' feedback on what you think about the build. If there's anything you think I can do to improve it, or anything you don't like, or even what parts you like particularly. One thing I was thinking of is possibly just in little areas like this, maybe putting kind of just some hedge blocks around, just to liven it up a little bit. And I might make a little kind of garden going around the house as well eventually, but I just thought that putting those in might give it a much needed little bit of greenery. Oh yeah, that's looking nice actually. I like that. So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this. I like it, and it's been really nice to have a little bit of a change of pace as well, because now I've done this, Now I've done this, going back to the main base doesn't feel monotonous anymore. Now I've kind of done this build and done something kind of a little bit different. I think when it comes to building, especially if you're working on big projects, it's kind of very important to have something you can go off and do that's a little bit different. Have some mini projects that you can do whenever the main build gets a bit monotonous, because if you try to push through the monotony, you know, some people can, but you run the risk of kind of burning yourself out and just never wanting to do it again. And that's not a good place to be. So having these kind of side projects to do is a really, really good idea. And my side project is, for now at least, going to be a city here. So whenever, with whatever main build I'm doing, whenever I get kind of a little bit bogged down with it, I'll just come over here and do some building. Because these projects are fairly quick. I put this guy together in a couple of hours. And it would have been a lot quicker than that if I wasn't kind of building things and tearing them down and putting them up again to kind of make things look nice. So yeah, it's a really good idea just to have these little projects. Now, there was one other thing I was going to mention. Me and a few other people have been kind of just casually talking over the last couple of weeks. That a YouTuber called Two On Door invited me to kind of play on a world him and a few of his friends had set up. And, you know, most of them do videos as well. So it would be kind of like a collaboration kind of thing where we'd be joining up to do large builds. And I finally got onto their server. They've just restarted to a new world, so it was good timing, yesterday. And we had a bit of a play around. It was a lot of fun. And I am intending to do another series based on builds in that server. So it'll be kind of probably a little bit more multiplayer focused. And by that I mean collaborative building, probably more so than PvP. Although I don't know what the other guys' plans are. But yeah, the world is called Mulberry Villa. And it is with Two On Door, the Grobbler, and Mulberry Man, and a few other people as well. I'll provide some links to some channels in the description so you can kind of check them out. Mulberry Man, I believe, is the guy who runs the server, hence the name. So, yeah. I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. So, yeah. And, yeah, I'm going to reiterate. Please do let me know what you think of this build, as it's a complete kind of departure for me. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys think of it. And, of course, thanks everyone again for all of you subscribing and reaching kind of the level that it has. I checked again and it's reached 115 subscribers, and that is just amazing to me, even though in regards to kind of the larger YouTube demographic, it's tiny, of course, but it's a big thing for me. So I'm really, really happy about that, and really hoping you guys are enjoying the videos. So yeah, please do leave a comment and let me know what you think. And if you have any ideas for builds to do in the multiplayer world, do drop in with your ideas. And if you come up with something good that inspires me, maybe it will kind of influence my direction. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.